We can discover something about authenticity just by thinking about the origins of the word. It comes from the Latin to be genuine. And so we have this idea that to be authentic is to be true to yourself, to be genuine. There are things in life which really are you, and similarly there are some things in life which aren't really you, and that you want to discern and not try and incorporate into your sense of who you are as an authentic person. If in the modern world we have the notion of autonomy and being true to yourself, being dignified in who you are, there's also another aspect, which is that we think we should turn inwards in order to try and find out who we really are. That introspection is the key to autonomy and the key to authenticity. It is the case that we need to know ourselves to understand ourselves, but there's a risk here as well that we become so inward-looking that it turns into a kind of self-surveillance and even a form of self-control, that we're so monitoring what we're doing that we never actually emerge from our cocoon of self-surveillance. And so this becomes a kind of prison rather than a releasing. Authenticity then is a process of self-releasement, this engagement with other people. And that comes about in a couple of ways. One is through conversation, through dialogue, and what that enables is a process of discernment. Don't see conversation as a kind of zero-sum game where my sense of who I am has got to compete with your sense of who you are. What this means for us today, I think, is to imagine others as gifts for your own project, that by trying to take things to other people, whether it be on a course, whether it be amongst friends, whether it be trying to learn something new, getting involved in a political process, others will in fact make your project much bigger than it could ever have been just by thinking about it yourself. Others are a real resource in this engagement of authenticity. I think for myself, 3 elements would be key. One would be to find a community. Now that might be a community of people, it might be a place, it might just be some books, but the point is to try and discover things that you didn't know before embarking upon a project, something that expands your horizon. You can normally tell this because you're surprised and you go, oh, that is a really good idea. A second issue is what might be called the art of questioning. And I think questioning is so important because it allows you to really work with the ideas and to take them into yourself. A third area is to think how your project, how your interest engages with the world around you. And this is good not just because of some sort of moral principle that it's good to give as well as to take, but in that very process of giving and taking, your project will be expanded. So if there's one key to authenticity, I think it's to tackle this notion that we are somehow finding ourselves by being introspective, by turning in. That way really lies chaos because we're never quite sure who we are. Instead, thinking of it as a social concern as well, that it's about engaging with others, it's about opening to wider communities, it's about caring for the society in which you live. And that process of exchange will enable you to become much more than perhaps you ever thought possible.